Hey guys, Xaryu here, and today I'm going to walk you guys through my 8.0 pre-patch BfA Frost Mage spec. Let's get into it. I know this is the video that you guys all want, so let's jump right in. We have Ice Nova, Shimmer, Encounters, Frozen Touch, Ring of Frost, Comet Storm, and Ray of Frost. And then I'm playing Trinket, Deep Shatter, Concentrated Coolness, and Temp Shield. There's the TLDR, but now let's jump into the details for all of you guys that are wondering why I'm playing this. And then we're also going to be jumping into some gameplay shortly after that to kind of show you guys how Frost is, I was going to say supposed to be played, but how I've been playing it, because truthfully, I don't know exactly how the meta is going to flesh itself out, and we could be watching this video in 6 months from now and be like, wow, these are the worst talents ever. But this is just how I've been playing it so far, one day into the pre-patch, okay? So I think it's been doing very well. I think Frost does a lot of burst. I think Frost is going to have some very strong compositions. I think Shadow Priest, Mage, Holy Paladin might be very strong. And I think RMP is going to be very strong. And maybe some other comps as well. But I think that stun pairing with Comet Storm is going to be kind of the burst windows that you're going to want to hit. But anyway, I'm running Ice Nova. That means no more Lonely Winter. That means you have a water elemental. Look at that guy. You got a little revamp here in the pre-patch as well. But we have that water ele. And the reason Ice Nova is good, well, there's a few reasons. One, you can pair it with Comet Storm, Ice Nova, so that all of the comets crit from Comet Storm. But you can also pair it with a Frostbolt with Deep Shatter and have the Frostbolt crit into that Ice Nova. In addition, since you have the pet, now you have Freeze to actually place down somewhere as well. So you can also Deep Shatter or Shatter with that Freeze. So Ice Nova doing damage, okay, the damage is part of it, but then also that root. And then the pet doing damage, and then the pet's root kind of outvalues itself over Lonely Winter this time around. Quite different than we've seen in Legion, right? That extra Frostbolt, Ice Lance, and Flurry damage isn't quite worth all of the Deep Shatter benefits with Ice Nova and the normal Pet Nova. So I've been going with Water Elemental again, which is nice. It's nice to have this guy back. I've been playing with Shimmer. Shimmer is a nice pick here just because of increased mobility, even though it is 20-second recharge now. Getting those polymorphs with Shimmer, casting a Ray of Frost with Shimmer, casting anything with Shimmer really is very, very nice to increase your mobility a little bit and increase the ways that you can burst the enemy team. Then we have Encounters Flow. And this is just because Mirror Image, you can't control them, right? So maybe good in a 1v1 situation, maybe good in a 1v2 situation, but you can't control them, so it's not very good in an arena situation. And then Rune of Power, you can't really stand still in a PvP situation at all. So Encounters Flow is pretty much the natural pick here, just a ton of increased damage. Frozen Touch, this is a very interesting row. So Frozen Touch, Chain Reaction, and Inevitable. Chain Reaction is just not enough damage, right? 3% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. That's just not enough damage to make it worth it. And then Ebon Bolt shares, if you get locked in Frost, you can't cast Ebon anymore, so it's a Frost School ability now. It's not an artifact ability. And then it does just a mediocre amount of damage. It does about the same damage actually as a Deep Shattered Frostbolt, versus having Frozen Touch, which gives you 20% more Fingers of Frost and 20% more Brain Freeze to really increase your consistent pressure. So I love Frozen Touch as a talent over Ebon Bolt right now, but we're going to have to see how it's going to really play out. Like I said, these are my best guesses so far and kind of what I've been playing with. Now, Ring of Frost here is really good when you're queuing with a Rogue, when you're queuing with something where you want a lot of control, and Frigid Winds could be better in something like a rock composition, maybe like Frost, Affliction Warlock, MLS, where you're just keeping the blizzards down and slowing the entire enemy team. So that's the difference here. In Ice Ward, I would never pick it because you have the Pet Freeze, you already have the Frost Nova. If you go with Ice Ward, everything will be completely diminished and you won't be able to use that Frost Nova at all. Now, Comet Storm, Splitting Ice, Freezing Rain. In past videos, I was like, I don't really know. Comet Storm right now, guys, deals so much damage. It says 4,494 frost damage. If all of these crit, it's dealing close to 10,000 damage, guys, with that Comet Storm. And just to let you guys know, people have like 33,000 life, okay? This, I think that's on the high end too. Anywhere from like 25 to 35,000 life, okay? Comet Storm's doing like 10,000 damage, which means in the worst case, it's doing 10% of someone's life, assuming they all crit because you're pairing it with an Ice Nova and getting that Shatter bonus. That's a ton of damage from one instant cast spell, right? A third of someone's life. So Comet Storm, I'll show you guys some clips here in a second, but Comet Storm is just doing so much damage, so it's a must-have right now. I don't know if it's scaled or tuned in correctly, but it just seems like it's one-shotting people. And then in this last row, I have talked about doing a spec where you go Thermal Void and Ice Form, right? Thermal Void and Ice Form, but it just seems like a lot of your burst is coming from like Comet Storm, Ice Nova, with just an orb down, and it doesn't really seem like it's worth to be casting those Frost Bolts to do your burst, right? So I've actually been playing Ray of Frost and Concentrated Coolness. So this gives you just like another burst option. You can throw the Icy Veins, the Orb, the Comet Storm, the Ice Nova, the Ice Lance, just like normal burst in kind of WoD and in Legion. So really what we're used to. But then now you can also cast the Ray of Frost in your downtime, or when someone's running behind a pillar to kind of tickle them down. Tickle Beam Cannon right there. And then even though Concentrated Coolness is nerfed to only a 30% damage increase, you can still place it at a castable location instead of the orb just going in a straight line. So you can actually place it around a pillar with just your mouse, clicking around the pillar, or you can place it kind of wherever you want and have it very accurate. So I like it just for the castable location part, and the damage increase is nice too. So this is the spec that we're looking at, guys. Once again, I could be wrong. All right, this is one day in, and it's just what I've been playing. And I think the Thermal Void Ice Form could have some merit if you're playing compositions like RMP with perfect control, but really this spec just seems to be the way to go so far for super, super high burst. All right, guys, so hopping into game, we're playing some Rogue Mage 2v2, and we're fighting a Hunter and a Warrior. And this first video, I'm just kind of show you the burst of Frost Mage, right? Like, once all the things that I've just talked about connect at the same time, you're going to be able to 100-0 people relatively quickly, right? And that's what is kind of fun about Frost. It's kind of what drew me to Frost in the first place. But look, cheap shots out, okay? We're going to, on the Hunter, we're going to pop the Icy Veins. We can Orb, Comet Storm, Ice Nova, and the guy is going to get obliterated. So Icy Veins, Orb, Comet Storm, Ice Nova, boom, 100-0. I mean, not much he could do besides Trinket the Tur, which he should have Trinket the Turd. But just with those abilities, like, let me replay that, guys. When the Comets, I already pressed Comet Storm, right? There's a kind of a delay because they're all in the air right now, and they're all going to land in a second. All of the Comets land as the Orb ticks and as the Ice Nova ticks. So it's like, you Orb, it's beginning to tick, you Comet Storm, it's falling from the sky, and then as you Ice Nova, they all crash down, you spam that Ice Lance, and you literally 100-0 someone. So all the damage connects in 1 second, and that's kind of why Frost Mage bursts so hard right now, because you're using like 3 or 4 globals, and they're all kind of connecting at once in literally like 0.1 second of burst. And there's that Ray of Frost kind of there at the end as well, that you can channel through the pillar once he kind of moves around. But let's hop into another game of Frost Mage. Alright guys, in this video, I'm actually doing a 1v2, or trying to do a 1v2 against this Ret Paladin and Warrior here, and my rogue is just going to be sitting in stealth. So these guys were, I think, a little bit nervous to fight, so they were kind of sitting behind the pillar, but like we've talked about, we want to pair the Orb with the Comet Storm, with the Ice Nova. If they're running, channel that Ray of Frost through that pillar and see if we can kind of connect a kill that way. And we'll kind of see, how long it takes them to come out, and then once they come out, how long they can last, and how much damage they're going to do to me, and all that kind of thing. So I'm going to actually skip through this video a little bit, because you guys are probably like, come on, let's get to the action. I don't blame you. But here's kind of what I do. I kind of run around the corner, poke around the side, and look how much damage Comet Storm just did to that guy. 67% life. Now, those Flash of Lights are going to top him back off, but just in one ability, it absolutely destroyed him. That's why Comet Storm is such a must pick right now. Go ahead and Trinket Temp Shield, that Hammer of Justice, and trying to channel now with the Icy Veins Ray of Frost. And just like I said earlier, guys, that Shimmer is so much value. I just blinked and then blinked again while casting and channeling that one Ray of Frost, completely kiting this Warrior around, throwing out some more Ice Lances now. This Warrior is trying to connect onto me. The Flash of Light's topping him back off, though. So now I'm going to have to get out of here. I've already used a lot of my major cooldowns. They're both still at 100% life. But look, just throwing out some Ice Lances and some Icicles. This Warrior's back down to 78%. So damage seems very, very good right now. Very, very high for Frost Mages. Pally's in that Polymorph, throwing out some Frost Bolts, collecting Icicles, collecting Fingers of Frost, potentially some Brain Freeze procs as well. I used the Ice Nova there instead of Comet Storm Ice Nova. Probably a mistake. Probably could have held that for the Comet Storm Ice Nova and paired it up somehow. Never really would just want to use Ice Nova on its own. You either want to shatter it with a Frostbolt or shatter it with a Comet Storm like we talked about earlier. And they're kind of both sitting behind the pillar again. All right, so we'll fast forward. I'm just eating, waiting for them to come out. Here's the Hammer of Justice. I could go into this ice block if I need, since I have no trinket. Looks like I decided to do that. Pally and Warrior very, very nervous to come out and play. I don't know why. Maybe they knew they were on a live stream with thousands of people watching them, and they were a little bit scared, which is probably the case, but we throw down the orb, we throw down the Ray of Frost, channel it through the pillar, and the Warrior goes down. And let me just replay that, guys. Warrior's at 100% life here. We Frostbolt shatter him down to 84% life. Flurry Ice Lance him down to 62% life. Alright, he's getting healed from his Pally. We do another Frostbolt Ice Nova down to 48% life. We throw down the orb, we throw down the Ray. Boom, he's getting dominated, and he's dead behind the pillar. That's cool. That's fun. That's good gameplay. Oh, it's a little OP, maybe a little overscaled, but it's more diverse than current Legion Frost Mage gameplay. You have the Ray of Frost, you have the increased damage from Comet Storm, you have that Frozen Touch, so your consistency is much higher. I like it. I'm having fun with it, and I think it's pretty cool what they did to Frost Mage. It's still not perfect, all right? I would love to see Alter Time, Blazing Speed, Deep Freeze, Blizzard, if you're watching. Deep Freeze. Anyway, getting some damage out there on the Paladin. He's kind of running behind the pillar. We're doing the same type of thing over and over here until we can finally get him. Have that Blink CS. And this Pally's just finally coming out to play. Nice of him to do so. But now I have some cooldowns coming back up. We have that Ice Nova, Comet Storm. We have the Orb. We have that Ray of Frost in 17 seconds here. Pally goes into the bubble. We'll fast forward here just for this last little bit. He's running behind the pillar. Get the Comet Storm and the Ice Nova, but he is moving, right? So if you use Comet Storm on a moving target, it's not going to be quite as effective, of course. That's why you want to pair it with a Sub-Rogue and get the full kidney shot or the triple cheap shots and then Comet Storm Ice Nova with that orb. But anyway, we're going to get some shatters here with that Deep Shatter, the Frostbolt Ice Lance coming in. Deep Shatter, by the way, makes all the difference with consistency as well. I really should have mentioned that. And just like we killed the Warrior, we're going to kill the Pally the same way. The orb on the pillar, the channeled Ray of Frost through the pillar, and there's the damage breakdown. Very, very high damage, good burst damage. Not the greatest sustain, but better than Legion sustained Frost, and then a little bit of healing done from those absorbs from Ice Barrier as well. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you did not enjoy the video, make sure to give it a big thumbs down. Talk to me in the comments about what you guys want to see in 8.0 pre-patch for BfA. I'm so excited, guys. I still want to test on my Priest, still want to test on my Rogue, but of course I had to jump on the Mage first and try Frost, and I think tomorrow we're doing a video with Arcane, so super excited to test a bunch of these things. Talk to me in the comments about what you guys want to see for sure. I'm definitely reading a lot of the comments on each of the videos, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next upload. Peace.